We will call to order the regular board meeting of the Board of Election Commissioners for the City of Chicago. Good morning. My name is Maricel Hernandez. I'm the chair, and with me today is Commissioner June Brown. Present. And Commissioner William Cressy.
Also present.
Next item is the consideration of the agenda. Are there any proposed changes? If not, then let's proceed with the two sets of meeting minutes we have for February 27th, 2024 and March 12th, 2024. Is there a motion to approve these minutes?
So moved by Commissioner Brown.
Seconded by Commissioner Cressy.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
Motion passes. Next is the Executive Director's report. Mr. Holliday.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioner Brown and Commissioner Cressy. Monday, petition filing for the Chicago Elected School Board candidates began 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at our super site at 191 North Clark. Tuesday, June 18th through Friday, June 21st, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Filings will take place here on 69 West Washington on the 6th floor. Signage is being placed on the 1st, the 6th, and the 8th floor of 69 West Washington and at the super site with this information. Our general counsel can give more details. Before each of you commissioners, I have a mock-up of the ballot for November. Right now, all candidates and questions currently fit on a single 22-inch ballot. However, as you can see, our space is getting very limited. If there are additional referendum questions sent to us by the city and the county, on top of local referendum questions, we will likely have to create two ballots for the November election. If this is the case, we will have printed signage alerting voters to vote two ballots at every polling place and vote centers on election day, as well as create a communication campaign to educate voters on the number of ballots they should vote. Chicago Department of Fleet and Management 2FM continues making repairs to the warehouse. At our last board meeting, we spoke about the warehouse and the number of floors. So we currently occupy 2 through 6 on 1819, the building 1819. The city has plans of moving us completely to 1869 is where we are now. 1819 is where the city plans on moving us. In 1819, the 5th and the 6th floor, we don't occupy both of those floors, but in the new portion, we will. Today, they started testing for lead and mold. Doing the cement floors on 5 and 6. The sprinkler system is installed and checking to make sure all that is working. Their plans was to be done by June 15th. They're far from it, Madam Chair. They're far from it. So, August. August, if they're not complete, they will have to stop because we have to start preparing for the election and then pick up after the election in 2025 where there is no election because we can't have them in there working over our sensitive material and just security issues that we just can't have them there. And most definitely don't want them messing around with the water sprinkler system and then it goes bad and then our equipment get damaged. Yeah. You know, at one of our meetings, their thought was just cover it, but it's just more than just covering it. You know, the city paid quite a bit for that equipment, and we don't want to go back to them that it was damaged. But if they try to continue and it get damaged, it would be because of another city agency. And we've already informed them, and they have been informed we are not going to move until I give them approval to, because at this point, it's going slow. It is going slow. And we have to start readying ourselves for November. So we can't, once August get here and they're not done, that's it. We have to start preparing for the election.
So what happens with the building, the current space that we're in? It's gonna stay the same so we can continue
Yes.
to use that?
Yes. See, the remodeling is going on where they want to move us.
Okay.
But where we are now, that will remain the way it is until we are completely out of there. And that won't be until 2025.
Okay, because I thought that there was an issue with some of the floors in the current building that you told us about last time.
They are, and some of those things they have taken care of,
Okay.
but they're trying to get these other floors ready to move us where we will be the only tenant there, and we don't have to worry about anyone entering on where we are. But they are trying to remedy the items. They have done some, but the others, they're trying to get these other floors together so we can completely move there.
But we're fine with the.
We're fine right now. Yeah, I mean, there's still some heat and air issues because of controlling it, but we work through it. Some have, and some of those things have gotten better, but there's still some that needs to be adjusted for us for November.
Excuse me, the new location, I presume it's a similar building to what we have now. So we have concrete floors. It can
Yes.
support the weight of our equipment and everything.
Yes.
So, okay, I just want to make sure we're not moving somewhere and then run into some
No.
problems like that.
And then they were talking about adding another freight elevator because the current one is 106 years old. So we'll see
Not
how
easy
all
to get
this
parts for
goes.
that, I imagine. Yeah.
Sir?
Not easy to get parts for that one. I
No,
imagine, yeah.
as you know, it was down for a while.
Right.
When the copper was stolen from it.
Yeah.
But it took 4 months, but it got back to running.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Last week we had the honor to be present at the Coalition for Better Chinese American annual reception, where our own Jane Lau from our Community Service Department was awarded the C.W. Chain Chinatown Partner Award. We are very proud of Jane and all her hard work, and we look forward to working with all of our community organizations ahead of November's election. Yes, it was. Yes, she is.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Good morning, Commissioner Cressy, Commissioner Brown. I am participating in meetings with staff and current vendors in preparation for the upcoming November election. I continue to work with our HR manager on operating procedures and staffing open positions, and I am pleased to report that 5 positions were filled at the beginning of this month. At the warehouse, staff has completed the removal of all voting equipment from the blue ESCs and is currently conducting a software update on all e-poll books. And that concludes my report.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. So we are ready for petition filing starting Monday next week. Media advisories are going to go out for the first and the last days. That's when we expect press to be present, along with majority of candidates and campaigns. We're going to have a new step and repeat on site. So we'll leave that one up here so candidates can take pictures again. That seemed to work well for the municipal election and create a nice friendly environment. No, the 2024 canvas is on the agenda today for your approval, but we are ready to hit the ground running in July and still be ahead of schedule. All will be receiving a new voter card. School board did have a new design chosen by executive director and our staff. So this has been our first refresh on our voter card. So, fun for voters to have something a little bit different. The canvas is in 7 languages and will be on the same version as the top. I'm preparing a press release and thinking about a media campaign, final approvals, and transition happening for our voter registration form that focused on the signatures, just for, say if it's not, and then it's just for a signature and work a regular voter registration form. This comes up year after year. Specific option for voters, for community organization, the ability to how it does work is a new registration one question that's come up in that point to have this get that. The thing is that it is still a voter registration form, so it still will need identification.
But this is just for the signature.
Yes, but it's still a voter registration form that requires their personal information. The state ID, classical social digits, copy of identification that they want to provide. You'd have to return it in a way that's different from the other vote. Also don't want to completely overload registration, but we do want to bring attention to this option where I want to communication. Reach out to our community around it.
So the way we're going to push that is community organization on our website.
And for media as well as our community services community, we're having languages, so that form will be present at our events summer. And speaking of community services, they are in the midst of scheduling summer events. School's out, so our usual partnerships with CPS and city colleges will start up later in the summer when new students are coming. But they are working with community organization and doing invites for summer job fairs, parades, festivals where they're planning to focus on recruiting elections. And message this year. It's like we're starting with Kingston Neighbors Community Council in July that's focused on finding Spanish speaking vendors. Another one will be the American Center for vendors in August. There is a couple of summer job fairs that are going to be city colleges, but we will continue to share those dates. We'll be very good. I believe that's everything.
We do the recruitment for city, judges recruitment for city colleges.
They've been a very helpful partner. We also recently met with Bigfoot Challenge. We also pressing hard on the high school judge. Our high school judges are always a very important part of election day. Quite sizable chunk of people that show up.
Do we have a interfaith and other outreach expansion, interfaith and other civic groups other than our regular community organizations? So we have the list that we have. Are we is community services expanding that?
I can certainly follow up and get their list of outreach. They work very closely with the
Okay, at different church, at different faith-based, not just churches. Okay.
Yes, Commissioner Brown, Geneva Morris and Mashonda Tolliver, they go out. So I can get that list also along with Max from them so you can see where they are going.
My focus was more on the expansion of the list from civic groups, from those we worked with for years, to expanding it, because there may be others.
Okay, Madam Chair, with the changes in the election administration, as Assistant Director Sandra Sparrow mentioned, there was 5 new hires, and today I would like to introduce Duatai Apahe. He is the new Assistant Manager of our IT department, and I may have chopped the name up.
Good morning.
It's Doite IT, and I'm pleased to be here.
Welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
If I may, could you give us a little bit of your background for the record?
So I have over 7 years of IT management. That includes help desk management, network management. And before I came here, I worked at the U.S. District Court, Northern District of Illinois, 2 blocks from here. And I was a senior network and systems administrator. And I also worked with the Department of Homeland Security, and I was also in the Navy.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you, sir.
And next we have Nicholas Exposito as our new ADA compliance officer.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm good. I have my BA in criminal justice. I have my master's in special education. I started off working for the sheriff's office in Homeland Security, and then I got into teaching for about 16 years. Recently, I've just worked in higher ed the past 6 years as an ADA coordinator and also an assistive technology coordinator within disability services offices. And now I'm here.
Welcome.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Welcome.
And then finally, the IT department had 3 additional hires: computer analysts and programmers, Ruben Rosset, Joseme Adolfa, and Corey Zhang. So Matt, his team has been built up, and he's looking to make it better and more secure. And we
Matt might
again,
actually-
we welcome all of them.
Matt might actually be able to take a day off.
And Madam Chair, I want to give thanks to Assistant Director Sandra Sparrow and our HR Manager Calandria Rogers for getting these positions filled as we needed them.
Chair, and good morning, Commissioners. We did receive a final updated bill list from our lobbyists for those that have passed both houses. And I think really what's most significant is what's not included in there. Some of the bills on not being able to use public buildings for polling places, which was really the #1 concern on my list. Those are both stuck in committee and have not been approved for this session. I think it is, of course, very important for us to continue talking with legislators about the importance of not passing those bills because where else are we going to conduct elections? We can't force ourselves into privately owned businesses. So there's really nothing of importance in direct effect to elections that's been passed, and so we'll just continue working with our lobbyists down in Springfield on stopping measures that would really upend elections. So we're in good shape there.
Yes, Madam Chair, we're asking for the contract of Dean Fatikas to be extended. Dean, he's our facility consultant, and all the things that are going on at the warehouse, Dean takes care of that and report to us, as well as things at our early voting site and keeping our super site up and running. Yes. He's a great access to the board.
Seconded by Commissioner Cressy.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
Madam Chair, I can't say enough what Adam means to the office and to me with all the assistance he give us. He is a great access to this office. And yes, and just love working with him and appreciate all he does for us.
Well, you know, I had my doubts on this one. I met with Agnes Lasker, your new dog, Adam, and any dog that likes you, I'm going to go along with as well. So, yes, you do a great job, Adam. Thanks so much.
Well, thank you all. It remains a pleasure to serve the board. It really does. It's an honor.
So moved by Commissioner Cressy.
Seconded by Commissioner Brown.
Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Shortly after our last board meeting, the county clerk published its signature requirements for independent and new party candidates seeking county offices and special district like Water Reclamation District. So we've added those to our calendar. Also just a little bit of cleanup. I found some typos. Paragraph C that came out as a copyright symbol. The year 2024 that came out as 20-4. Just little matters like that that are not substantive.
So moved by Commissioner Brown.
Seconded by Commissioner Cressy.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Under both state and federal law, we have to preserve election materials for 22 months after a general election. We still have all the materials from the November 2020 election. There is no pending or anticipated litigation. It is taking up valuable space at the warehouse, and so we do request the authorization, the resolution for authority to dispose.
So moved by Commissioner Cressy.
Seconded by Commissioner Brown.
Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioner Brown, Commissioner Cressy. The Procurement Office is requesting your consideration and approval of a bid award in relation to the invitation for bid, voter canvass mailing, and second notice for the November 2024 general election. The Procurement Office has received, reviewed, evaluated, and is recommending award for the IFB voter canvass and second mailing and second notice to J.J. Collins. The IFB was competitively bid. The award selection was based off of comparative total costs, meeting the lowest bidder's requirements. In response to the IFB, the board received a total of 12 responses from the following vendors: J.J. Collins, Johnson & Quinn, Cardinal Color Group, Envelope Connection, Modern Litho, Liberty Creative Solutions, Sheely Group, Grace Printing, D4 Solutions, Fort Orange Press, Rumbeck, and Think Variable. J.J. Collins is the apparent lowest bidder. J.J. Collins has performed various printing projects for the board and recently the March 2023 voter canvass and second notice, along with the I voted stickers and Form 276P. Board staff has been satisfied with their service and products. Attached is the bid tabulation documentation supporting the recommendation to award the contract to J.J. Collins, who met all the requirements for the invitation for bid. Please consider granting the award for the invitation for bid, voter canvass mailing, and second notice to J.J. Collins in the amount not to exceed $92,053. Thank you.
So moved by Commissioner Brown.
Seconded by Commissioner Cressy.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
Yes. Hi, Commissioners. Thank you for having me.
Good morning.
Happy to present a summary of the mandated City of Chicago ordinance. Effective July 1st, there's no change to paid leave. I believe you should have a summary of the ordinance here to review. The intention is to implement this mandated ordinance on an accrual basis based on hours worked. For 1 hour, granting 1 hour for every 35 hours worked, up to 40 hours in a 12-month period. This would be using the anchor date of hire. And after consultation with senior leadership team, we think this is the best approach at this time for this accrual balance.
I'd like to just point
Counsel?
out for the record that the board has already been going above and beyond the minimum hours required for vacation and paid sick leave. This is an accrual. The difference is really the accrual time, right? So,
This is an additional bucket in addition to what we already have.
okay.
Thank you, and I enjoy your emails as well. Very,
Yes.
very attention gathering.
Yes, thank you. So moved by Commissioner Cressy.
And seconded by Commissioner Brown.
Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
I will, and closely with you.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks again, Madam Chair. I'm going to officially embark upon another year of legal reports. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. As you've heard, we're preparing for school board petition filings with the candidates next week, Monday morning. The one thing I want to make sure we're aware of is that there's a new apparent conformity policy where the statute amendments in the school code that create these elected offices require that we do not receive or file petitions if they're missing certain elements of the mandatory requirements. Those elements are the statement of candidacy, the statement of economic interest receipt. Normally those could be filed separate from the petitions, but now they must be filed together at the same time. The petitions must have the minimum number of signatures. We're not going to do signature examinations, line by line evaluations, but we have to count the bare minimum number of signatures and make sure there's at least 1,000 on the petition. And finally, the fourth category is that all of the circulator affidavits at the bottom of each petition sheet must be notarized. So if there's a sheet that's not notarized, we're not allowed to receive or file it. So we have been working with all the different staff members so that we're going to have a second review. When the petitions come into the first table, they'll be reviewed as normal. But this time, if a no box is checked for one of those four elements, it'll come over to a table where I will be for the beginning along with staff members for a second review. And we'll be providing a specific notice in writing as to why the petition was rejected or why we didn't receive and file it, and with instructions that they may come remedy the problem and come back to us anytime that we're open before the end of the filing period and still be able to submit. So that's how we're working that out for those new procedures. Also, on the 17th of June, next week, Monday, we will be having an electoral board meeting. We just this morning received 8 objections from the State Board of Elections against 7 different candidates. So these are candidates who are filling vacancies in nomination in positions where there was no candidate for that political party involved in the primary. These are all Republican candidates. There is some pending litigation that there's been a notice of appeal to the Supreme Court filed dealing with the recent legislation that actually prohibited the political parties from filling these kinds of vacancies. There's a downstate court that ruled that law cannot be enforced right now because it was enacted in the middle of the petitioning process. But now that decision is going to the Supreme Court, so we'll monitor that. But in the meantime, we've got 8 objection cases now to handle, and so we'll kick that off if it works for the commissioners, 10 a.m. on Monday the 17th. We'll have that electoral board meeting, and then we're also preparing, of course, for the related objections for the school board candidates, if there are any. Those hearings would begin on the 9th of July. And if there are any questions, that's the end of my report for now.
The case before the Supreme Court, do they have that on an expedited calendar, or it's going to be a normal?
So I did just receive the notice of appeal this morning. I haven't seen any order from the court putting out an accelerated docket, but I would be surprised if it does not put it on an accelerated docket. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So, otherwise, that is my report. No, thank you, Madam Chair.
So moved by Commissioner Brown.
Seconded by Commissioner Cressy.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
Commissioner Cressy votes aye.